Welcome to, or should I say, welcome back to DFR Deer Fan Reactions, where I, Henry Dillon, fan of the Kansas City Deer, and the James Immoral jersey, react to every Deer, not game, but simulation, in the Premier Basketball Association, the NGM League. Speaking of Umola, jersey on, as I aforementioned, he retired. He's gone. Jansen's gone. Zachary Smith's gone. You know, the three legends who were kind of the faces of the franchise. Elias Cordero was traded to Long Island. That's worked out pretty well for us, I'd say. The team that consistently lost to the Titans. I promise we'll get to them. I swear we'll get to them. But it's Deer fan reactions. I got to react to what the Deer did, and we'll start with the draft. They drafted Chris Dancer, who had a great Progs. We'll get to that in a second. And the second round pick didn't really do much in Progs. They drafted they drafted a freshman, and he had a bad potential role. So that's all they did for the draft. But in the expansion draft, there was an expansion. The league went from 18 to 20 teams. They added, I think, the Cleveland Rockers and the Detroit Raiders. And Simeon Banshee, who was on like a $30 million contract, got picked in the expansion draft, which is huge for the Deer because that means that they're free from that contract. They had $40 million to play with in free agency, and with that $40 million, they signed from Pittsburgh Malcolm Reed. I have it right here. This is the PBA notebook. You see it here. You see a Bees game here. What Bees Ballers? What season that's from? Oh well, doesn't matter to me. This isn't a BLA video. Go join the BLA, by the way. The small plug. Malcolm Reed. He was an all-star last year. He's young. He was a 60-66 overall potential, and he also had good progs. And that was the only signing the Deer made. It was a max contract, but basically they just took Simeon Banshee and replaced him with Malcolm Reed, which I like. That's a good move. And he had good progs. He actually got a +2, -2, so he's a 62-64 now, I think. But the Deer as a whole had great progs, and I mean, in a weak South Division, the only real competition they have is Nashville. I mean, I think they can compete. Let me just look at what are the progs they had. I'm not going to memorize that. What kind of freak do you think I am? Keaton Brown had really big progs. He had a +4 and a +3. He's the kind of the second piece of this puzzle. I think he's a 63-67, something like that. He had great progs. I think he's going to be a really big piece of this future Kansas City core that's formulating right now. This is the formulation process. They'll get some experience. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. They'll probably get killed by like the Hunters or, you know, as is usual. But it's important. You get progress. You get, you know, locked in. And then next year, you get new supporting cast, new guys, and you get ready. Tyler Wallace is kind of the third piece of that. I think he's a 58 overall, a little shy of that 60 overall mark, which is generally considered like a star player of a team. But he had +4. He didn't go down in potential, so that's probably going to be really good. He's probably going to be a crucial piece of the future for this basketball team. Some other guys who had big progs. John Reinhardt, that investment is finally paying off. They drafted him, I think, 3 years ago. He was an 18-year-old. He had 70 potential coming out. And he's starting to get up there. +11. I think he's a 52 overall now. He should be a pretty solid bench piece for this team. And maybe next year he can develop into a starter. Dancer. There he is again. He got a +17. He went from like a 30 overall to a 50 overall. I mean, that's remarkable. Making a big step. Probably another crucial bench piece. And Andrew Rogers, 3-point marksman, who they drafted, I also think the same year as Reinhardt, maybe a year after. He had a +7, so he's now also kind of in that starting rotation. I think he's a 56, 55 overall. And that's all for the big progs. The bad progs, Will Fisk went down. Herndon had bad progs. Johnny Davis had progs. He kind of stayed where he was. I think he got a +1. His potential didn't drop, so that's important. But I think that the expectations for this season of Deer basketball should be maybe the playoffs, but don't anticipate a deep run. Don't anticipate the finals. Don't anticipate winning the finals. I mean, Long Island exists, Chicago exists, Nashville exists, Philly exists. We'll get to Long Island. That's another thing I gotta talk about. But we'll tie all that in. Oh my God, Finally, the Titans' downfall. The Titans' downfall! And so, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I guess I'll see you in the next one after the first sim, which will definitely horribly go wrong, and I won't be as positive. Bye!